This session focuses on contribution analysis, which is a theory-driven approach to program evaluation. In order to demonstrate the potential applicability of contribution analysis to your own program evaluation activities and interests, I would like to ask you the following question. What is the name of a program that you were involved in as a primary stakeholder or beneficiary? I'm loosely using the word program within this context, meaning that program can refer to a service, intervention, or a curriculum. The second question that I would like to pose to you is, what are some of the outcomes that are related to this program? It would be excellent if you could write down at least one or two outcomes that are related to your selected program. Now that you have identified a program and outcomes associated with it, throughout my description of contribution analysis, I would encourage you to reflect on the following question for the program. Could contribution analysis be used to evaluate this program? I am hoping that once you hear more about contribution analysis, your answer will be, maybe, let's try it out. As program evaluators, we know that a primary goal of many programs is to contribute to improved outcomes for those that they serve. Given increased demands for accountability, the need to justify programs in fiscally competitive climates, and requests for proof of program impact, there is a push to demonstrate the connection between programs and their outcomes. However, experimental designs often used to demonstrate that programs cause changes in outcomes are challenging to use within many contexts. They are costly and often require large sample sizes, as well as genuine control groups that are subject to withholding or delaying interventions to individuals in the program. In addition, the inability to control all variables within many organizations dilutes the ability to demonstrate direct causal links between programs and outcomes. So we face the following question: how can we demonstrate that programs are contributing to improved outcomes? Many believe that the answer to that question lies in contribution analysis. While the term contribution analysis is used in finance to quantify the contribution that resources or activities have on the financial well-being of companies, John Main's slightly different conceptualization of the term as a theory-based approach for evaluating the performance of programs is ideal for connecting programs to their given outcomes. Contribution analysis is still a relatively new approach for formatively evaluating programs. It was initially developed in the Office of the Canadian Auditor General by John Main for evaluating complex government programs. To date, there have been no published studies on using contribution analysis within medical education programs or other education programs. However, contribution analysis offers a systematic way for us to connect the dots between programs, such as health professions education programs, and learner or patient outcomes. In order to connect the dots, contribution analysis focuses on the development of a program's hypothesized theory of change. This theory explains how a program is expected to produce the specific outcomes. It is essentially an expanded version of a program's logic model or basic results chain. But some of you may be asking, what is a logic model or a basic results chain? Here is a template for a basic results chain for an education program. To develop the results chain, we first need to indicate what we need to put into the program in order for it to work, inputs. Next, we outline what we need to do in the program, key activities, and what will come directly out of these activities, the outputs. And then we explicitly highlight the various outcomes associated with the program. These outcomes can vary, but are often related to participants' reactions to the program, changes in their knowledge, changes in behavior, other outcomes, as you see fit for the program. So to turn this basic results chain into a theory of change for the purposes of conducting a contribution analysis, we simply need to expand on it. The goal when developing a theory of change is to articulate how a program is expected to achieve its given outcomes. In order to develop a comprehensive theory of change, we also need to articulate why the sequence of outcomes is expected to occur. That is it a question of our own beliefs, or is there some empirical evidence, perhaps from some social, clinical, or educational theory, behind our understanding of why these outcomes may occur? To construct a complete theory of change, we also need to acknowledge and explain other external factors, such as other programs or initiatives that might influence the given outcomes for a program, as well as any other assumptions or risks that might influence the likelihood of change in the given outcomes. Remember, it's about systematically investigating the program's postulated theory of change when we're doing a contribution analysis. In this sense, contribution analysis encourages us to shift our thinking and to view a program as part of a causal package that works together with other factors, interventions, and influences to bring about changes in the stated outcomes. With this shift in our thinking, we can then question, is the program a necessary part of the causal package to bring about the given change in the outcomes? If we can demonstrate that the program is an essential part of the causal package, then the program is working and achieving those outcomes. We can conclude that a program has made a contribution to the stated outcomes if we can show the following: that the program is based on a reasoned theory of change, the results chain and the underlying assumptions of why the program is expected to work are sound, plausible, and agreed to by the key stakeholders in the program. The activities of the program are being implemented as intended. The theory of change is verified by evidence. The chain of expected results occurred, the assumptions held true, and the outcomes were observed in the program. And external factors influencing the outcomes are assessed and shown not to have made a significant contribution, or if they did, their relative contribution is recognized. In order to carry out a contribution analysis of a program, John Main, the founding father of contribution analysis, proposes 6 steps to follow for conducting an evaluation using contribution analysis. The next 2 slides, in combination with the readings for this session, detail these 6 steps. You can pause this presentation if you would like to have a closer look at the various steps. After you have completed the required readings for this week, as well as listened to this presentation, I encourage you to consider the following questions. What are the strengths and limitations of using contribution analysis to both plan and evaluate programs? To what extent does contribution analysis encourage individuals and organizations to work together to plan and evaluate complementary programs? And how does contribution analysis influence evaluation use? I would also like you to recall the program that you identified at the start of this presentation and consider if contribution analysis could be used to evaluate it. Feel free to post any of your answers to these questions on the discussion board for this session.